what do you get when you cross a microbat, an osprey, and this fish? Toothless's habitat. Let's get started. I really need to work on my jokes. Hello. Hello, people of the present. Now, the official stance of the habitat of the night fury is, wait for it, unknown. But that's not gonna stop people who like to look into every little detail and make a big deal of it like me now, is it? Haha, nope. Oh man. The things I do with my life. Toothless might be pretty happy to hang around in the barbaric archipelago where it snows 9 months of the year and hails the other 3. But what is his natural habitat? Lucky for us, an animal's biology can tell us a lot. We know that rhinos are a dusty grey so that they can blend in with the rocks of the African landscape. We know that flightless birds tend to live in areas with less predators. And we know that the woolly mammoth is woolly because its mum told it that it needed to put on a jacket if it was going to go out in that blizzard. So what can Toothless tell us about a night fury's habitat? Echolocation is a pretty unique ability, and Toothless first showed it in the Netflix TV series. It allows him to bounce sound off other objects around him to tell him where they are. That'd be like insanely useful. You could find anything, even in the dark.
Hopefully my dignity?
And if that sounds familiar, it's because it is. It's almost identical to the sonar used by microbats when they're navigating and hunting in tunnels and caverns. And something else, microbats also happen to be one of the animals used to develop Toothless's character. So it makes sense that they'll have some other things in common as well. Now the wiki says that night furies supposedly hang themselves upside down like bats to sleep, but there's no real evidence of this that I could find, and every account we have in the show is that Toothless curls up like a cat. However, if you've watched Race to the Edge, then you'll know that Toothless is pretty much never afraid of going underground, unlike a lot of other dragons, like Stormfly. The fact that night furies are so naturally comfortable and well adapted to navigating dark tunnels and caverns must suggest to me that they either sleep there or just hang out there, I suppose. Whatever dragons do in their free time. Extreme fishing, that's what night furies do. Night furies may sleep or dwell in caves or tunnels, but they're the fastest dragons in the world for a reason. They love the open air. Hello, Mishka. I have my own Toothless, I swear. Right from the first scene of the movie, we can see how devastating Toothless's signature move, the dive bomb, is. He can swoop in at hundreds of k's an hour, let off a plasma blast, and be gone in an instant. And just like Echolocation was based off bats, this ability was probably taken off another group of animals that Toothless was based on. Birds of prey like the osprey, who will use this dive bombing method to catch fish. Now this tendency to eat fish and this hunting method indicates to us that night furies must live next to a large body of water, either the ocean or maybe a lake. So we know that they sleep in caves and hunt in large bodies of water, but it's also possible for us to figure out if they live at high altitudes or low altitudes, high up in the mountains or way down next to the sea. Birds that live at higher altitudes need a higher wingspan to body ratio to keep them up in the low air density atmosphere. And it is notable that Toothless has the largest wingspan to body ratio at 14.9 meters to 7.9 meters of a body. Yes, we use the metric system here. But my bet is that night furies actually tend to live at lower altitudes and not high up in the mountains, because we know that Toothless's plasma blasts explode at extremely high altitudes, as seen here, and that it'd be super inconvenient for a night fury living really high up, and given that their inclination is towards fish and water anyway, it probably makes more sense that they're closer to sea level. I mean, this one could kinda go either way, and we'd really need to know more about Toothless's biology before we could say more. Now, a few of you have suggested that night furies probably live in volcanoes, but I personally really probably doubt that. The only two dragons that we know that can stand volcanic environments are the Eruptodon and the Green Death herself, both of which have extremely hard, coarse, thick, rocky armor to protect them. And on top of that, the Eruptodon actually has a heat-proof saliva. Beyond that, in the Netflix series, we see that Toothless flies into a volcano and is barely able to make it out alive because he can't sense when the lava geysers are going to blow. This is unlike Meatlug, a boulder-class dragon who can. Given that Toothless lacks all of the traits that allow these dragons to survive in volcanic environments, I think we could pretty safely say that night furies don't live there. But there you go, just from Toothless's biology, we can tell that night furies probably sleep or dwell in caves because of their natural ability to navigate underground tunnels and caverns, that they live and rely on large bodies of water for food because of their natural dive bombing abilities. And while it's hard to tell, that they probably live closer to sea level rather than at high altitudes like up mountains. If you liked this sort of analysis, tell me down below what dragon you would like me to do next, and what other fandoms would you like me to make videos about? That's all from me. See you next time. Oh, and by the way, you should check out the link below to some of the books that I'd written. It would mean a lot. Thank you. Bye.